Hi everyone, Chris Bayless here from the Sponsorship Collective, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the discovery meeting, the process that you can use in each of your discovery sessions with prospects to move them through a very deliberate path that ends with them inviting you to submit a proposal or ends with a sponsorship agreement. I actually want to jump onto my iPad and walk you through how I run discovery meetings. Now, before we dive in, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to make sure you get updates every time we have a new video. All right, so let's dissect the discovery meeting a little bit. To set the stage, a discovery meeting is that first meeting you're having with your prospects where you're not there to pitch, you're not there to sell, you're there to try to understand exactly what it is they're trying to achieve, what your sponsor, your future sponsor might be after, and what outcomes they're chasing and that they will be measuring through your sponsorship agreement. So the very first thing that you want to do in a discovery meeting is build rapport. This is the stage of sponsorship sales that many of us get stuck for a long time. We call it relationship building and spend days, weeks, months trying to build relationships with your prospects. In a discovery meeting, you want to spend the first 5 to 7 minutes building rapport, small talk, getting to know each other. But you don't want to stay there for the entire meeting. You want to make sure it's productive. You want to stick to the time constraints you've set for this meeting, and you want to make it worthwhile to you and your sponsor out of respect for their time and what they're trying to achieve. So after I've built rapport and it seems like I've connected with my prospect, I then move on to the most important part of the discovery meeting, not the sales pitch. Audience. I want to get to know their audience. I want to know who their target market is, who their target customers are, what niche or niche audiences, what avatars they're targeting that they want to connect with. I don't want to move on from this stage in discovery until I have a complete and thorough understanding of their audience. If I don't have their audience or I can't help them access their audience, then I might want to present my audience to them to see if it's even worth continuing the conversation. But you must get to know your prospect's audience very well. Now, just understanding who the audience is not enough. Your sponsors have particular goals. They want that audience to do something. And so the next stage, your sponsors, your prospects want their audience to do something. And that's what the next stage is all about. You want to understand your sponsors, your prospects' goals. What do they want their audience to do? How do they get customers? How do they measure success in their marketing and in their sponsorship relationships? Your prospects, the brands, the sponsors, they know what they want each of their audience avatars, their ideal customers to do. They know what it means to be successful with a marketing intervention, and they know how they're measuring that success. In the discovery meeting, you want to move through understanding their audience into what they want that audience to do. So once you understand the goals of your brand, of your prospect, of your sponsor, the next step is to know whether or not you can actually help them. And in order to determine whether or not you can help them, you must be able to diagnose their problem. We have to diagnose before we prescribe. When you create a sponsorship package and send it to a sponsor, you are prescribing before you've diagnosed. So we want to get to the diagnosis stage. In other words, we want to identify roadblocks. You want to be asking your prospect, your sponsor, what's standing in the way of their success? Why aren't they able to get this audience to do what they want? Or how do they envision being more successful? You want to diagnose their marketing problems. Only after you have diagnosed can you move to the next stage. You want to brainstorm solutions with your prospect. You want to be asking them for some ideas. You want to be sharing with them some ideas that you have. You know your audience better than anybody. So what are some ways that your prospect could connect with your shared audience in a way that you know your audience would respond well? By starting with building rapport, understanding the audience, understanding your prospect's goals, understanding what's in their way, what roadblocks they have, and then brainstorming some solutions. You are presenting yourself as a real partner of theirs, and you're offering them solutions. Once you've achieved that stage in a discovery meeting, and all of this is possible within a 30 to 45-minute meeting, then you've earned the right to ask, not for the sale, but for next steps. I like to end my discovery meetings with a simple question. Where do you think we should go from here? What do you think are the right next steps? And if my prospect responds, I think it's time for a proposal, then I ask the question, perfect. Tell me exactly what I should include in that proposal. Next steps may not be a proposal. Next steps could be a follow-up meeting. Next steps could include them spending some time thinking about what you've discussed, or maybe presenting some options to leadership or decision makers within the organization. The goal of the discovery meeting is not to make the sale. It's to have another meeting. And so ideal next steps are that you both agree that it's worth continuing down this path together. When you follow this systematic approach to your discovery sessions, the likelihood that your next steps will be positive are much higher versus going to a discovery meeting, handing a sponsorship package, and trying to sell for 30 to 45 minutes. That approach rarely works, but a discovery-based approach where you're building a relationship, but then moving this meeting very deliberately through a specific process generally leads to next steps that include proposals, more meetings, next round of discovery, or sometimes they might invite you to pitch a more formal package to their leadership. So there you have it. That's the process that we use whenever we're negotiating with sponsors. And this is what we coach our clients through in the Sponsorship Accelerator to implement so that they're being very deliberate about the conversations they're having. Now, if you want to jump on a call and see whether or not we can help you improve your discovery process or your sponsorship program, I'll leave a link down below in the comments to my calendar so that we can jump on a call and see if we can help. And remember, the sponsorship package doesn't make the sale. You do. Good luck out there.